It's absolutely no secret that NBA viewership has been dropping over the years. If you look at this year's final, it hovers around the 11 million a game mark, which is decent. You look in the last year, around 11 million, year before around 12 million. But if you go down here and you look at like the Cavs and Warriors finals, you've got 18 million, you've got 20 million, and it's just really bad for the league that's dropping so much. And I'm going to tell you 4 reasons why I think this is happening, the last of which being the most relevant in my opinion. Now the first 2 reasons are going to get somewhat lumped into the same category, which is the playstyle of the NBA and how NBA stars are. Right now, there's a lot of flopping in the NBA. It's just a lot of 3-point shooting right now, which a lot of older fans don't like as they grew up on the more back-to-the-basket post playstyle. So a lot of older fans don't like how the NBA is played right now. And I think everyone can agree flopping's gotten egregious in the NBA. A lot of people say it's becoming more and more like soccer by the year, and the NBA has yet to really crack down on it. So the flopping is a really big reason people just can't stand to watch it. It's the same reason why people don't watch soccer. And stars are just complaining a lot more to the refs, and a lot of people just that puts them away from the NBA because it's just annoying to watch at times. You watch Luka Doncic and Joel Embiid just foul bait every game trying to get free throws and then whine to the refs when they don't get calls. And it's just annoying to watch, and I think everyone can agree on that. And that's something the NBA really needs to crack down on, and they haven't. So that's the first 2 reasons, is the play style of the NBA, how it's just 3-point shooting or layups. You really don't get much variation. The mid-range game is pretty much dead. And then also how stars act. I think stars have become less and less likable over the years. Just because, I mean, you look at the stars right now, Luka, who flops and complains a lot, Joel, who flops and complains a lot, you have LeBron, who flops a lot. So all those guys just aren't as likable as the stars, like in the mid-2000s or so. And so I think those 2 factors combined leads to people not wanting to watch, just because the people that you're supposed to like watching aren't fun to watch anymore. And watching a bunch of 3-pointer shot isn't as fun. Now the next reason is the NBA is a soap opera in a lot of ways. A lot of people that watch the NBA or pay attention just care about the trades and the free agency and the trade requests. And I can agree, I think all that's really fun to pay attention to, because it's just really dramatic all the time in the NBA. There's constantly a good player on the trade block and a lot of rumors. That's not really as prominent in sports like the NFL. It's a lot more, even if there are big trades, it's like not much is getting traded in return for the big players. So in that way, I think a lot of fans just want to pay attention to how the league is changing and like the drama of it. And if you look at the NBA's Instagram, 88.4 million followers, which is a lot, obviously, and you look at the NFL and they have 30 million, it's like, well, if the NBA is so much more popular on social media, why aren't they getting as many viewers as the NFL? And I think it's quite obvious. The NBA appeals to a much younger audience than the NFL does, and those younger people want to just pay attention to trades and free agency and such, but also the younger audience has a shorter attention span, to be honest, because of things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, and just short form content has made people's attention span a lot lower. So the younger audience doesn't want to sit and watch a full game. They'd rather just watch the clips that the NBA posts. So in that regard, older fans that watch the NFL want to watch a full game just because they've done that. NFL's religious in the USA, but the younger fans don't want to watch a full NBA game just because they have a shorter attention span, and I don't think they can watch a full game at once. So I think they'd rather watch the short clips, and that's another reason why I think people aren't watching as much, is just because they don't want to watch a full game. They want to watch the highlights and just pay attention to how the NBA is moving rather than actually watch the games. Maybe people don't even like basketball that much, to be honest, because college basketball's viewership isn't great. I mean, women's is, but the men's college basketball hasn't been great as of now. The final reason, in my opinion, the most important reason that doesn't get talked about, is illegal streaming in the NBA. The NBA has priced out some of its fans. NBA League Pass, I believe, is $250, which is kind of a ridiculous price to pay for being able to watch any game. And the NBA has done a horrible job adapting to cable TV dying. I know a lot of people that can't watch their favorite teams just because they can't have their local channels because they don't use cable. And the only alternative is NBA League Pass, which is very expensive. And like I said earlier, the younger audience of the NBA probably doesn't have that type of money to spend realistically. You're telling me a college student's going to spend $250 on NBA League Pass when they can just go to a site and watch it for free and risk getting a virus? Like, of course they're going to take that. And so the NBA needs to do a much better job on trying to make things better for people without cable, as if you look online and look at Twitter, you always see people using the illegal streaming sites. And even people I know use it just because they don't want to pay for the NBA League Pass because it is pricey. Like, just being realistic, it's pricey. And then I know what you're thinking, well, why does this not affect the NFL? And first of all, NFL, like I said, is a religion in the USA. Football's the biggest sport by far. But as I said earlier, the NFL's target audience is a lot older than the NBA's, so those older people likely still have cable TV, while the younger generation has gotten rid of it, moved to things such as YouTube TV, and just gotten rid of the paying for cable. So the older people have kept cable, have been able to watch NBA or NFL games no matter what, just because they have those local networks and people without cable don't. So I think illegal streaming probably is the biggest reason realistically, because they're not getting those viewership on the games, the NBA isn't, and they just, yeah, fans don't want to pay a lot of money to watch games they can watch for free. And I'm absolutely shocked Adam Silver hasn't done a better job taking down the illegal streaming sites, and it's just horribly run, to be honest. The NBA needs to adapt to the change in cable TV dying, and they need to make it easier to watch games for fans, because also, you think about it, fans that don't have cable TV aren't going to be able to watch the games, which means how are they going to, like, learn to like the NBA, right? I mean, fans need to watch games before, new fans need to watch games before liking the NBA. So how are they going to do that if they can't watch games? And just, that's the biggest one to me, is illegal streaming. So what does the NBA need to do to get back to the glory days of having 25,000, 35,000 people watching the NBA Finals? And I think it's quite simple, to be completely honest. They need to actually take control of the league. Adam Silver has become somewhat soft, where he just listens to the players. He needs to lock down on flopping and complaining to the refs, realistically. He needs to figure out the whole illegal streaming thing. Like, that's ridiculous that they haven't done anything about it yet. They need to make games accessible to people without cable TV, realistically, and that'll increase attention. The NBA has one of the biggest advantages on being the biggest social media sport. Like, they have done nothing to capitalize that. I mean, you look at the advantage the NBA has, they're one of the few sports where you actually feel like you know the players. Like, you get to watch Jared McCain TikToks, you get to watch Jimmy Butler doing his funny hairdos before photo shoots. Like, NBA players are far more well known, like their personality, than NFL. You don't really get to know NFL players at all. And so the fact they haven't done a better job capitalizing on that is just horrible. They really need to do a better job just knowing their strengths, which is their players, to be honest. Like, their personalities. People love learning about the players. It's one of my favorite things to do. And so they need to get rid of flopping, eliminate complaining to the refs is a big one. Find a way to make their star players more marketable, because it's hard for some fans, and this is going to sound kind of offensive, but for some fans to root for European players. And I don't know anyone personally like that, but I think it's a real thing in the NBA, where they see these European players and players from other countries dominating, and it's kind of, they don't want to watch that just because they're not American, and I think that's a really bad thing, but it's kind of how some people are, I think. So they need to find a way to get rid of the negativity that goes towards those star players, all their negative things like complaining to the refs and flopping, and yeah, just capitalize on their strengths. Just make the NBA more marketable, to be honest. Yeah, let me know what y'all thought. I think the illegal streaming was my best point. I wonder if y'all agree. If you could comment any reasons you think that I didn't bring up, or if you agreed with any of the reasons, make sure to let me know. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you next time.